Hello! I've put on my spookiest shirt for this video because, spooky. By spookiest, I mean it's red. Welcome to my Spookathon TBR. Very excited for the Spookathon. I'm very excited to, one, read some spooky thrillers and that kind of thing, which I don't usually read, so I'm quite excited for this. I'm also excited to get a few off my backlist and get a few off my list of books I've borrowed that I haven't read yet. So I've got 5 books here, 2 of which are on my backlist and 3 of them I've borrowed from other people. So hopefully the last 2 weeks of October is just going to be like, have your books back. As we all know with me and TBRs, like it doesn't usually go very well, but I really wanted to take part. It's actually been like a bit of a thing, like Gilmore Girls Readathon will have just finished when I post this video, or is like almost finishing, and I really wanted to take part in that, but I was kind of like stressing myself out a bit too much. Like I love Gilmore Girls and I loved all the challenges, but I didn't have books that would fit it specifically that I actually wanted to read, like all the challenges. And I know you can kind of just like do it for fun, but I was like stressing myself out a bit, and like the Gilmore Girls Readathon was the first half of October, Spookathon is the second half, and it kind of, I think, would have just stressed me out if I like did a TBR video for Gilmore Girls Readathon and then for Spookathon, and it's just like my whole of October is taken up, which I guess to some sounds like really exciting. To me, it sounds quite stressful. So I am going to kind of take part in Gilmore Girls Readathon, but like very low key. I'm not going to set a TBR. I think I'm like in danger of like burning myself out. I keep trying to do too many things, and like alongside that, and then with my blog, and then reading, and then my full-time job, which has been quite stressful, and like also other things, socialise it, everything has just kind of got a bit much. So I opted to not, which is sad, but you know, there's always next year, isn't there? So anyway, that's that out of the way. Do you get like that sometimes? It's very much like sometimes readathons are really exciting and I can't wait for them. Like this one I'm really excited for Spookathon. Whereas others, sometimes it's just it's all a bit much, and I think when they all happen at the same time, it's very much like you're in danger of like really stressing yourself out. So yeah, I don't know. That's me anyway. I'm not high-key taking part in Gilmore Girls Readathon, just low-key, but it's gonna have finished anyway by the time this video goes up, so I guess we'll see what I did. I don't know yet. But I do want to take part in Spookathon. Because I don't remember anything, I've got my little list here of what the challenges are and which books I've picked for them. So I've got this here, and I've got my stack of books. So I've picked these ones. I will run you through them. So the readathon runs from the 14th to the 20th of October. I've probably picked too many books, but I'm kind of doing it to give myself some options. I'll run you through it and explain as we go. So the first book I've got is Read a Thriller, and that is There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins, which is one I've been really wanting to read for years. And if you saw my books that I've borrowed from people that haven't read yet video, which I'll link in a card, it was on that because I've borrowed it from my friend Alice. It's about a girl who moves from, she moves from Hawaii to Nebraska. She thinks she's left her mysterious past behind her, but then people in her high school start dying, and there's going to be someone in her house, I can assume, and I'm just really intrigued. I've mentioned this one before, so I won't go into too much detail, but it's a thriller. It's one I've been really wanting to get to. So this is one, and I know I'm going to like it because I really like her writing anyway. It's not one that I'm like throwing myself into when it's like completely out of my comfort zone. So very excited for that one. Okay, so the next 2 challenges are read a book with red on the cover and read a book with a spooky word in the title. And so for these ones, I've got a book that could fit what am I trying to say? So for those 2 challenges, I've got 2 books, but each book could fit both challenges. So if it comes to it and there's like too many books and I'm like, I'm not going to do that, like, no, stressful, I can pick between these 2, if you know what I mean. So I'll go through them. The first one is Do No Harm by L.V. Hay, where here's some red. So this will fit for the red on the cover and a spooky word, because I think harm is a spooky word. Scary, isn't it? So this is a psychological thriller, and it kind of talks about domestic violence and like obsession. And it's about this woman who is in a relationship with a really harmful, possessive man, and her and her son manage to leave that relationship and start a new relationship. They basically have like a whirlwind romance and get married, but then her previous obsessive ex-partner kind of like returns to the scene, and it's very like upsetting and dangerous and scary psychological thriller. So I'm very intrigued and excited to read this. I don't know if excited is the right word because it sounds quite like a lot, but I am intrigued to read this. So that's that one. And then the other one that will fit for those two challenges is Hangman by Jack Heath, which has red on the cover. And I mean, Hangman is like, you know, a fun game, but also spooky. So it works. I spoke about this one as well in my books I've borrowed from people video. So again, I won't go into too much detail. You can view that. But this is also borrowed from Alice. It's about a kidnapping, a boy goes missing, and the FBI recruit in this man called Timothy Blake, and his code name is Hangman. And he is like kind of one of those, he's like a genius, can solve lots of crimes, but he's also a criminal himself. And this kind of sounds like a complex thriller, mystery, what's going to happen. Yeah, very excited to read this. Again, it's like I don't usually read these kind of books, but when I do, I really enjoy them. So really I should read more of them. So yeah, that's that one. So I'll probably only end up reading one of them, unless I'm like, you know, can't stop. I'm being realistic, like 14th to the 20th of October, it's like a week, isn't it? So yeah, we'll see. The next one I've got is read a book with a spooky setting, and for this one I've picked a little short one, which I think counts. It is The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell. And I've got a few of these Penguin Little Black Classics, and I haven't actually read them yet. Really annoying. So I picked this one because it says on the back here, it's set in the Northumberland moors, which is quite spooky, and it says a ghostly child roams the Northumberland moors while fairy tale characters gather at a strange party in these two Victorian Gothic tales. So that sounds really exciting. Also not like anything I'd ever read, which is relevant because the next challenge is also something I wouldn't normally read. So I've picked a few books which fit for multiple challenges to give myself some leeway, RE talking about being burnt out earlier. That's that one. Very short. We'll obviously read that in like a sitting. It's only 50 pages. 50 short pages. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I don't read a lot of Victorian Gothic tales. And a ghostly child is roaming the moors. I'm very intrigued. It's very like, very Halloween-y, isn't it? Very apt. So that's that one. Okay, and then the last book I've got, which again, it will be like one or the other, potentially. So this is for something I wouldn't usually read, but which could also fit for that one, but can also fit for this one. And this is Removed Without Warning, which is a short story collection by Aaron Kane Heineman. And the reason I've picked this one is because it's a short story collection, and I don't usually read short story collections. So I think that works. It's not a happy short story collection, it's very eerie and spooky. This is borrowed from my friend Amy, and it's kind of like weird. It's described here as gritty and dark and oddly funny, which is like kind of the weird, creepy, like not necessarily horror like I'm gonna scream or anything, but like it has that vibe of like gritty, like, oh, that's weird and creepy, kind of Halloween-y vibes, which is everything I'm here for. Yay! So that is that one, and I'm really excited because I think it's gonna be good. And that's that. I'll leave a link below to the Spookathon announcement, and I'll write all the challenges in the description as well, so if you're taking part you can see them. Are you taking part in the Spookathon? Are you reading, I'm just going to put my feet up here, are you reading spooky books for Halloween? I don't usually. I think I usually like aim to read spooky books for Halloween, and then I like never do, mostly because I'm like, well, I don't have any books that I want to read that fit into this spooky genre, so soz. But I'm excited for this year because I've actually got a few. I don't know why it's never quite occurred to me to just read thrillers at Halloween. I've always tried to find like a horror book, and they always end up, I'm like, oh, I'll read this random horror classic, which, like, let's be honest, I'm not going to read. This is a great way to do it, and I'm really excited about it. My tea's gone cold. Of course it has. Classic me. Yeah, that's the TBR. Are you taking part in Spookathon? Let me know if you are, and leave your TBR if you have one, and I'll go and check it out because I'm excited. Sorry, my head is all over the place today. I'm really sorry if this video has been like a shambles. I'm like, you know, my head's all over the place. I'm excited for it to be a bit of a low-key readathon. I like it when a readathon is really intense sometimes, but like to just have a nice readathon where I know other people are also doing the similar challenges and I can see how they're doing, and that's kind of the extent of it, is quite nice. And it's like, it's been a really busy summer, so this is like a nice way to ooze, calm, maneuver myself into autumn and winter, you know? I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone else, but it makes sense to me, so whatevs. I hope you've had a lovely day. Do give this video a like and a thumbs up, that's the same thing. And subscribe if you're new and you'd like to see more videos from yours truly. So sorry. Until next time, I will see you soon. Happy spooky times. Bye!
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul and seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons.